Hi, Eloise.
Oh, hi, Carson. You haven't called me in a while. What's up?
I just wanted to let you know that Nancy and I are going to be visiting New York this weekend.
And you wanted to come visit me?
No, we're going to pretend you don't exist, just like we usually do. Argo Font Book Review. Argo Font Book Review.
Rich and Dangerous is kind of a strange case. Nancy and her father are staying at the Plaza Hotel in New York City because Carson Drew regularly works with Interpol. Does he? I don't remember seeing him work with the police in previous books.
Continuity!
Actually, I don't remember seeing him at all since book 15. Mostly Carson Drew just goes out of town and does nothing when Nancy endangers her life. Which is why he set up this special father-daughter vacation. It's an opportunity for the two of them to reconnect with each other. The family bonding lasts for about 5 seconds, then Carson gets a phone call from Interpol and spends the rest of the book working. So much for a vacation. Nancy goes outside and sees the 4 people who are staying in the suite next door. The leader of the group is wealthy Sarah Amberley, an aging matriarch who openly insults everyone. Nancy instantly dislikes her. Also in the group is Sarah's snooty fiancé, Pieter, her mentally challenged sister, Allison, and her good-for-nothing nephew, Jack. Nancy instantly becomes obsessed with the Amberley family. She overhears every single argument they have, she sits next to them at meals, and she enters their suite to have a look around when they're not there. Sure, Nancy claims she tripped and entered the room by accident, but I don't believe her. Nancy's fondness for breaking and entering pays off. The second time she breaks into their apartments, Sarah is having a medical emergency. Nancy gets her some medicine, and Sarah instantly morphs from mean old lady to Nancy's new best friend. Being friends doesn't stop Nancy from breaking into the Amberley suite a 3rd time. She discovers that Sarah's expensive ruby ring has been stolen. In this case, the culprit is Jack. He stole the ring for gambling money, which gets him disinherited. Bess and George show up about a 3rd of the way through the book, and they go sightseeing with Nancy. They see Pieter on the other side of town, visiting a dry cleaner. Nancy thinks it's incredibly suspicious behavior, so she goes to the dry cleaner and takes Pieter's laundry. I don't know if she stole the laundry or what, but that's totally possible. She sends the laundry off to be analyzed, but since this is an important clue, we'll have to wait 80 pages before she follows up on it. Nancy breaks into the Amberley suite a 4th time. At this point, they should just give her a key card to the suite and be done with it. Sarah Amberley has overdosed on her medicine here, and she dies in Nancy's arms. Nancy starts screaming and crying over Sarah's death, like this was a woman she met more than twice. The doctor thinks the death was an accident, but Nancy's convinced it's murder. So she takes 1 chapter to investigate each suspect. Allison is suspicious because she has the stolen jewelry box in her room. Pieter is suspicious because he's way too cold and calculating about his fiancée's murder. Jack is suspicious because... wait, no, Jack is super hot, so he gets romance, not suspicions. George falls for Jack hard. As in, she is so enamored with him, she can barely stand to look at him. The two of them go out on dates. I haven't mentioned Maximilian, the waiter, yet, but the whole book he snoops around the Amberleys almost as much as Nancy does. Max goes on a huge rant and then he runs off to an employees-only area. Nancy tries to chase him, but she gets lost downstairs. The culprit pushes her into an open trash compactor.
Oh no, we're caught in a trash compactor!
Just when Nancy's about to die, the power goes out. Well, that was lucky timing. Nancy climbs out of the trash compactor and finds Max's electrocuted corpse near the power generator. Ah, that's what caused the power outage. We're at the end of the book, but Nancy has no idea who the culprit is. So she gives all 3 suspects a note which says, "I know you're guilty. Meet me at my suite alone." The culprit takes the bait, which starts a long chase sequence, complete with a hansom cab race through Central Park. The culprit is Pieter. Nancy pulls out his laundry that she stole and says there were traces of medicine all over his jacket. Clearly, Pieter drugged the victim's tea, then went over to the far side of town in hopes of creating an alibi for the murder. Also, he is secretly Sarah's long-lost cousin, which is gross because he was her fiancé. Ew, I'm just gonna forget that ever happened. The book ends with a big party where Jack announces his plans to become a law-abiding citizen. He also makes it clear that he wants to date somebody else besides George. Sorry, George. The end. Post-book follow-up. As I said at the start, this is kind of a strange case. I'm not sure how to explain it. This book feels a little different, odd somehow. Maybe it changed authors halfway through or something. I guess I'd say the weird aspects are how Nancy breaks into the Amberley suite 4 times without much reason. How she goes from disliking Sarah to loving her in a matter of seconds, and, she only solves the case because she stole some dude's laundry on a random hunch. Personally, I wasn't sold on the premise that the Amberleys are interesting people who are worth investigating. They're all rather unlikable people. I didn't find the book very interesting until Sarah's death a third of the way through. Then I was all, oh, that's why the book has been obsessing over her for the past 50 pages. In my recap, I didn't mention the hotel detective. He blames Nancy for the jewelry theft and the murder, which causes some tension for a while. The tension deflates as the detective realizes he's an idiot, and he tries to get Nancy to solve the case for him. Nice guy. Overall, I didn't like this book. It had some weird moments, and I wasn't interested in the characters. I probably would have liked it better if the book followed through with its opening chapter promise to give us a Carson-Nancy mystery. It would have been neat to see Nancy working with her dad for once. But instead, random laundry. I give Nancy Drew Files number 25, Rich and Dangerous, a 3 out of 10.